Hey YouTube, so this is the end of the day video at Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area. We are on the east side doing some greens. 7, 8, it's like the upper right corner coming back down to the office. Basically what happens is the closer you get to your end time, the more you have to be on being precise on the timing to get to the gate and everything, which means that you can have to reduce the risk a little bit by doing easier trails that you know will take a certain amount of time that are closer to the gate. That's a smart way to do it. If you end on like a black trail or end on like a difficult blue trail or something like that, you have the potential, like you saw in the last video, where it took like a long time for everybody to get over 100 feet of terrain, where you might think that something's easy, but then it becomes really hard, and instead of being there at the gate on time, you're there like 2 hours late, which is a big deal. So we're doing greens for like the last I don't know, hour or whatever, last bit. So that's what we're doing here, and you're gonna get to see some of the green content at the AOAA Trails Outdoor Adventure Area. And today was pretty successful. The goal was to figure out, with like what we got on the Jeep without any modification, what we could do and couldn't do with the Jeep, and kind of like what kind of would start to feel uncomfortable. And some of the trails that I was wanting to do felt a lot more uncomfortable than I wanted them to be. Specifically, I was a little bit upset on Kyle's trail that I got stuck twice, and I had a spotter watching me, and he knew I was on the right line, and I still got stuck. So I wasn't like upset like I was mad at the spotter or mad at anybody. I was just upset that a little bit that maybe upset's the wrong word, but I don't want to say shocked. Probably upset would be the right word. Anyway, so basically the result is that we need more. We need lift, or we need tires, or we need something. And we're turning onto Trail 7 here, by the way. And Trail 7 is a green trail, and because it's not like a paved gravel road, I'd have to say it's probably like a 2 in difficulty. Greens are 1, 2, 3 out of 10. So this is a very easy trail, obviously, but because there is some kind of little baby obstacle on here, it's definitely not the same as a paved road. So anyway, from the couple times that we got stuck in the earlier videos, essentially what it comes down to is sooner than later we're going to need to get a lift, or bigger wheels, or both, essentially. So yeah, time to go shopping around and figure out what I want to do aftermarket to kind of give this Jeep a little bit of a bump up. I wanted the Jeep to be interesting. I didn't want it to be boring, because when I was on the 40s doing these trails, everything was like getting super boring. So I do want it to be interesting, but I don't want to have to get stuck and get pulled, or I don't want to have to winch on every single blue trail. So because of that, we're gonna get a winch for recovery purposes, but at the same time, I want to feel confident, a little more confident on the blues, because right now, I felt, a lot of the blues that we did, I would feel pretty confident on, but Kyle's trail, I would not feel confident on, seeing that we had the 2 times that we got stuck pretty badly, and I don't think that there was anything I did wrong. I don't think there's any better way to go through it. It's just kind of like height, or lack thereof. So these trails that we're on are green trails. They're pretty easy trails, and they are some trails that people frequently go on, especially like Jeep Jamboree. The trail numbers I gave out at the beginning of the video, obviously, and I showed the map of where we're going. But with that said, you still have to pay attention even on these kinds of trails, and you can't hear the audio, but I'm talking on the ham radio, I believe, at this point with the trail guide, and we're just chit-chatting. And yeah, I bumped the mirror into one of these trees, and Kimberly was pretty upset with me that I bumped the mirror. She thought maybe I broke it, and I didn't. I just pushed it in. But yeah, even the greens are can become pretty narrow at this park. So just don't think that like you can close your eyes and they're that easy. Because like I was saying, I did bump the mirror at some point. If you're watching really carefully, like maybe you'll see the spots that I did it, or maybe not. There's water on a lot of the trails. So when you look at the overall map, and I'll throw the map up for a second, down the center of that map there is the coal road. Hopefully you can see that. Essentially everything above it is flat and everything below it is on a hill. And as you go from the center of the map down, you're going up a steep set of mountains. And yeah, there's ATVs everywhere too. There's quite a few of them we just passed. And as you're going from the bottom of the map toward the center, you're going down hills. So on those trails you just have to be aware of that. And not only aware of that, but just realize that it is typically harder to go from the center of the map to the bottom of the map because you're going uphill, and it's typically easier to go from the bottom of the map up. And then the upper half of the map is where it's flat at. So since it's flat on the upper half of the map, that's typically where more of the mud is, because obviously it's flat, and obviously if you have a mountain, the water's just going to go down the mountain to the flat area. So if you're looking for mud puddles like the one we just went through, or extremely large ones like Excelsior Swamp, like here's a mud puddle right there of some sitting water, you want to stay on the upper half of the map. And if you're looking for rock and stuff, and you want to avoid the mud as much as possible, because you would never get something like this on the side of a mountain, obviously, then you would want to, go to the right area, is what I'm just saying. So hopefully that helps out. And like I was saying, I mean, there are some obstacles that we're going through. This trail specifically that we're on is probably similar to the Union Springs side of Flagpole Knob, if any of the Virginia people are watching. I don't think it's as difficult as, say, Second Mountain or Dictum. This part right here is probably, like the spot specifically we're on right this second, is probably the same as like the lakeside. But overall, like with where we were before and where we will be, some of the obstacles will get up there on the Flagpole Knob Union Springs side. So yeah, I would probably say that the greens at AOA are probably similar to Flagpole Knob. If anybody is thinking of coming up here from Virginia and they've never been to the park before, that would probably be a good kind of solid indicator to give people. So this part of the ride is actually the chill part of it. Everybody obviously just went through that intense hill climb that I shared, and so everybody now is just taking the breather and just relaxing and enjoying the scenery and the sun. Most of the people have their top down, and it's nice and warm outside, and we are just enjoying our day at the AOAA. So I do have quite a few videos coming up after this. I've recorded a ton of video footage that I need to process, and this is just the start of the videos. Like literally, this is just the start of the typhoon, or the start of the thunderstorm of all the videos to come. So this was a Memorial Day ride that, and this is the 5th video in the Memorial Day ride. There is another ride that was the following weekend. That was with the Jeep Club of Maryland. And then there was a green guided ride, I believe, with Offroad Consulting on the Sunday. And then there are some upgrade videos on the Jeep that are going to be posted also, that are going to go along with that. And then we just came back from Pigeon Forge when I'm editing this video. So I have an entire line of like camping videos and Tennessee videos to put out, and then I'm going out with a Jeep on Saturday, and I'm going to be recording even more, so I probably have a good like 20 or 30 videos at least worth of video content to edit up and to get out to you guys. So right now, I mean, now that we're past the COVID, I was kind of expecting, or we're not really past it per se, now that things are opening back up, it's just like a landslide of stuff is all of a sudden going on. And before I had kind of had it paced out, but I kind of like lost that pacing, and now it went from like a pause to like a sprint, so to speak. So anyway, I'm at the camper right now editing these videos. So once I get some solid internet somewhere, I will upload the videos, and there'll be videos again, because I know that there's been a couple delays on YouTube, from me specifically. I don't want to blame YouTube, I blame myself for getting you guys content on a regular basis. That's kind of why I don't like specifically announce ahead of time like what day that they're going to be posted on, because it's a little more like what I feel like, and then as I get stuff, I post it. So this is basically the end of the ride, and we are at the headed down to the parking lot at AOAA. Please like and subscribe. Subscriptions really help, and we are aggressively trying to get the sub count up to 1,000. So that would be fantastic if you could subscribe with your Gmail account, and that's what you use to log into YouTube, because YouTube is Google. Thank you.
Hey YouTube, so we're done for the day. We're all aired up and everything. The last half of the day was kind of a little bit more chill, just doing greens and stuff mostly. There was like one last blue that we did that where everybody was kind of struggling to go up a little like loose gravel thing, but it was all good. I did hit the one mirror, but I pushed it back in. It just got pushed in and we pushed it back out. No real serious damage to the Jeep, like woohoo for first day of blues with this. But we both did agree that a little bit more breakover angle, like the center of the Jeep, would be good. So we're looking maybe like 2.5-inch lift or bigger wheels or something, because it did seem like we were kind of hitting things like with the lower breakover angle than everybody else. But by far we were the lowest Jeep of the group, obviously. So if you're the lowest, like that's what happens. But I think it's also a little bit compounded being the lowest with the longest wheelbase. So anyway, we will see what we'll do in the future. So thank you, and please subscribe.